What's this thing?
What is going on? My name is Tristan. I am joined by my dad, Chad. And welcome to the episode 0, we're calling it, of the What the Film podcast. We're going to talk about movies, talk about a show that we love or hate, and then we're also going to be breaking down our film of the month. It's, a game where we spin a wheel and we decide on which movie to watch. And this month was Anora, so we're going to talk about that later. But for today's episode, we're going to be talking about the 98th Academy Awards.
That's right. It's award season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people can, give or take the awards. Some people are just like, they don't care. Other people just love it. I'm sort of probably in between because I understand, but basically these awards help people's careers so much, right? So if you win Best Actor, you're definitely going to get some job offerings, right? And probably a little bit more money. So it's subjective, of course, right? Nobody can really say what is the best movie, but it's still kind of a cool thing and gives us chances to watch all of these films, right?
Absolutely.
And so over the years, there's absolutely been upsets and snubs and different things, or people that you definitely wanted to win that did win. I don't know. We can actually go into that as well. Some of the snubs, some of the cool things that happened over the years. 98 years, right? 98 Academy Awards. That's a very long time to be doing this, right? So if you're ready, let's go.
Yeah, man. I mean, before we get into, I guess, this year, talking about previous ones that kind of shocked us a little bit. I remember, I think it was 2021 when the Best Picture was kind of a little bit weird. There was a lot of films that weren't really supposed to be in there, or a lot of people were like, that was just not a good year for Best Picture, because Coda was the winner of Best Picture.
That's
right.
right.
It was a very weak year anyway. But you could have given it to a way better film. Maybe King Richard up there for me, the Will Smith movie that did have that controversy with
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
Chris Rock in that happened.
Oh, that was 2021, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, that was great. Well, not great.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
But definitely one of those moments where you're like, WTF, right?
Right.
I think that was cool. Yeah, there's been some clinkers, right? Some years where you feel like they go more foreign or they go more independent, and then sometimes they just, here's the Hollywood movie, right? Which the last one I can think of that, and I believe me, I don't remember the year, but the musical, Hollywood, what's it called?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is that what you mean? Or?
No, the musical. With Ryan, the guy from Barbie.
La La Land.
Called? La La Land. Right, La La Land. That got a lot of nominations, and I think, again, that's like going back to a classic Hollywood award winner, right? Rather than something like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which would be more kind of on the grittier side of things. And the Oscars, I think, have always sort of gone back and forth through that, right? I mean, The Exorcist won for Best Picture. Woody Allen's Annie Hall won Best Picture, the only comedy to ever win, right, in the 70s. But then again, they sort of snubbed over other things, like Raging Bull did not win in 1980, which is the absolute bonkers thing, because absolutely that should have, won. It's largely considered the best movie of the 1980s, and it came out in 1980, which is kind of weird. What was the Parasite, right? I think
right.
that was
the 2019 Best Picture.
Right. And so you kind of look at that like probably not a lot of people saw that, right? So we're obviously not going off of the fame of a movie. This was more of the artistic aspect of it. And probably, the fact that it was foreign, I think, helped.
Yep.
I think sometimes that's a good thing because absolutely, if you're a movie fan, you should be watching foreign films. 100%.
I mean, this past like couple years since I've started to get more into film, I've watched a lot of more foreign films, and they are actually genuinely probably a lot better than 90% of American films. Like it's kind of a weird thing to think about.
And a lot of stuff is stolen. I mean, and to be honest, even if you're talking about some of the greats of all time, Spielberg, Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, they took their styles from French New Wave, German cinema, Italian cinema, and if you really go back and watch those films that inspired them, you'll be blown away. 1,000% you'll be blown away.
Yeah,
I'm sure in this podcast we're going to start watching some of them.
Sure, yeah. But with that said, I guess let's kind of jump into the 98th Academy Award. There's a lot to go through. I'm sure we'll the process a little bit.
Yeah, we'll go through some of the categories here. I'm gonna mess up some names probably, so you can correct me since you probably have a better handle on that. So right off the bat, Best Actor, right? Mm-hmm. So this is in a supporting role, Best Actor. Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, which I just watched, by the way. Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. Delroy Lindo for Sinners. Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Those are the guys. So where are you at with this?
This is actually probably the biggest category, only because everyone here can win. The only name that I'm seeing that can probably miss out is probably Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. He was really good in that, by the way.
Who did now? So I didn't get to see that yet. That is on my list. Who did he play?
So he played the monster. He was the monster in that movie, and he was actually really, really, really good. It's just when you have Benicio, who was phenomenal in One Battle, Sean Penn, who will probably end up getting this win for One Battle. Really? Stellan Skarsgård was phenomenal in Sentimental Value, where he won at the Golden Globes, so there is some momentum for him. But Delroy Lindo...
You ain't paying no $20 a night. You paying $20 maybe tonight.
His first Oscar nomination ever, which is mind-boggling to me, but he should win for Sinners. I think you're going to understand that Sinners is probably one of my favorite movies ever. Like, the film is nominated for 16 Oscars.
The most ever.
Is insane. I love that. So, yeah, I think Delroy should get the win. It might be kind of a more legacy award, as there is a lot of traction with his name attached to it. So...
For Sinner, you mean for Delroy?
For Delroy. I think he gets the win here. I hope so.
In the movie, and again, anybody who hasn't seen it should go see it, but his talk in the car, his monologue in the car is so damn good.
It's raw, too. Like, you can actually tell when
it's really good.
Someone is either acting or just, like, speaking truth of what that scene is. And when he passes the slaves and he talks to, like, people that he actually knew,
right?
It was so
He's
powerful.
been there. He embodied, the weight of, I think, all of that, and I think he did fantastic. I would pull for him. I do agree, though, after just watching One Battle After Another, Sean Penn was he was a different person. He was a completely weird, different dude. And that just goes to his acting ability. Benicio del Toro, it was subtle. He was a very subtle, calming presence in that movie. Okay. So that's...
And then, I will say there are some, I believe, misses for me that I've seen this year. A very surprising miss for Paul Mescal in Hamnet. He was nominated a lot throughout the years. The year for Hamnet didn't get nominated. I'm not mad at that. That was just something to look out for. Jesse Plemons in Begonia, amazing performance. He's actually due an Oscar, I feel like, because he's an amazing actor. And then Miles Catton for Sinners. I feel like you could have had him in there. The Sammy preacher boy, I think, deserves recognition there. But he's a young actor. He's going to get a lot more roles in the future.
Do you think he's in the supporting role, though? Isn't he sort of more the main? role, technically.
Like him and Michael B. Jordan, I feel like are
Yeah.
the main characters, but I feel like Michael B. because it's more. I guess you're right. It is kind of more Sammy's story, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, he could have went either way.
The other thing, and I don't know if this makes a difference to you or anybody else, but I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, Frankenstein is the only one in this category that's just streaming, right? That was not released in the theater.
Yeah. I mean, so this is kind of a hard thing to kind of go over to because Netflix did theatrically release Frankenstein in select
I
theaters.
gotcha.
So, like,
Okay.
technically it's a theatrical release, but I watched it on streaming. I watched it on Netflix when it came out, and it was phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, it's like another thing, like Wake Up Dead Man, the Ryan Johnson Knives Out movie. Like, there's so many great performances in there with Jeremy Renner and just, I mean, the best actor nominations too. But yeah, it was a Netflix movie, but it also released on on theaters, but doesn't really get a whole lot of recognition.
All right, so let's do supporting actress. Okay, so we have Ellie Fanning for sentimental value. Inga, I'm going to mess this up. Inga Ibestahader Elias for sentimental value as well. Amy Madigan for weapons. Wumi Moscato for sinners. And Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. So that's some heavy hitters there. The only one that I have not seen is sentimental value in that, so I have no opinion there.
Okay. So go ahead. So I know you watched Weapons, right? I think the Amy Madigan shout is a little bit kind of interesting because I believe she now holds the record for the longest gap for an actress to be nominated. She got nominated in 1986.
Really? And yes, for correct me. What was it?
It was Twice in a Lifetime, I believe.
Yes. Okay. Right. So.
But that's like such an interesting thing because horror, obviously Sinners is a horror movie, but like Weapons is like straight horror, which doesn't really get a whole lot of love. So it's kind of interesting that Amy Madigan.
You never see, at least in the Oscars, you never really see horror take any kind of flight. Once again, The Exorcist did win, I believe, in 1971 for Best Picture. And Ellen Burstyn in that is amazing, and she was also nominated. But I think you very hardly see it. And granted, most horror movies are cheeseball stuff, not regarded as great cinema. But every so often there is some really good stuff in there, really good acting as well. So Amy Madigan, I thought, was great in the role, and I also like that. You do sort of bring the whole thing about Hollywood is that the older, once you reach a certain age for an actress, you're kind of done, right? Nobody's giving you cutting edge work, but they can really do it, right? She did a fantastic job. She was creepy as hell. So I do like that. I like that recognition. Should it win? Probably not.
It's definitely not going to win.
Yeah.
The person that I think is probably going to win is Inga for sentimental value.
Okay.
The only options that I would pick is Mumi Musaku for Sinners. She played Annie. The other, it was Smoke's girl in the movie. She did phenomenal.
The one who ran the store. The one who ran the store. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was really, really great.
Oh, she was great.
And then, Tiana Taylor also. She won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress. So you have, again, momentum there. It would be kind of crazy to me that Tiana Taylor, who was, a musical artist to start, and then she kind of slowly went to acting, wins an Oscar for this movie would be.
She's fantastic in One Battle for Another. Obviously sexy as hell, and she knows it, right? Mm-hmm. She was very commanding in that role, demanded a lot of attention. I will have to say this though, every time I see her, because I watched another show with her. Called All's Fair. There was a Ryan, the guy that does American Horror Story, had a show with her in it, and I don't know why, but she has to show her belly in like every thing that she's in. I think maybe it's in her contract, but you see her belly, and it's a great belly. I get it, but she was really good in in that. I'm sure
Yeah,
she's
I mean,
going to
this
get a
is
lot
also
more
another
stuff.
like heavy category too, where there's, I mean, Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value was good. She was kind of that American, an American in a foreign movie that
That's
was
what
really
I was
good.
wondering. That I was because I know when Skarsgård uh, spoke at the Golden Globes, he said, it was great. This is a Scandinavian film, I think, right, or
Hmm.
something. And then I see Ella Fanning's in it. I'm like, wait, she's American. What the hell?
Yep.
So that's actually built into the story.
Hmm. Yeah, it
Okay,
was really good.
okay. And she's
But
great.
yeah, Sentimental Value is really good. I think the only miss, there's like two misses here for me that should have been nominated. Odessa Zion and Marty Supreme was amazing. I love Marty Supreme, so that miss was kind of interesting. I mean, Haley Steinfeld could have been nominated for Sinners. She was also really, really good. Same with Regina King in One Battle After Another. She was also really solid.
She was so quiet in that. She normally never is.
Hmm.
And
She's
she was so
usually
good.
hilarious, but she
Yeah.
it takes on
Mhm.
a more serious role, which again
Yeah.
is kind of satisfying to watch. And
That's
then
fantastic.
the other only one that is kind of interesting is This Thing On, the Bradley Cooper movie. Laura Dern was also really, really good in that.
Yeah, I
So
can't wait to see that. Laura Dern, I'm going to tell you right now, is one of the greatest actresses ever, like in the world. Go back and watch any David Lynch movie, because she's in quite a few David Lynch things. She again, we don't talk about some of the commands, the scene that can run circles around other actors. She kicks ass all the time.
yeah,
So I can't wait to see
she was
this thing on.
phenomenal in that movie. Like, and this is going to sound insane because when you watch it, you might not understand. But that whole time with Will Arnett and Laura Dern, I was just thinking about like my family in a way, which is like kind of weird. It was kind of a weird thing to look at, not fully from the story, but it's just like
I gotcha.
like I wonder if this is what you guys were feeling when that kind of stuff happened back then. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of
Okay.
interesting to watch.
All right, yeah. I mean, it's on our list. You're way ahead on some of these newer ones. It's going to take
Yeah.
us a little while to catch up. I know. So you mentioned at some point Mia Goth for Frankenstein,
Yes.
which again
So
I haven't seen. But when we
she,
talk about a snub, that's one that I feel was a snub. She should have been nominated for Pearl or for X. Any of
yeah,
that whole
X Pearl,
series. The whole
Maxine, kind
series.
of whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I've
She
never seen those
absolutely
movies, so I have not really.
she plays a dual role in X because the first one's X, which happens in the '70s, and then Pearl is like before then. But she plays all different characters, but they're sort of the same character. It's a weird scenario. But in X, she plays just a regular girl who's being terrorized, and she also plays the terrorizer, who's like an old lady. And I'm telling you right now, it's amazing. It's a really phenomenal movie, and she should have absolutely been nominated for that.
Interesting.
That was a few years ago, but
Yeah.
she's fantastic. She's going to go very far in this business for sure.
Yeah, she was great in Frankenstein, like really good. I'm surprised that not a lot of acting roles from Frankenstein got nominated. It was only Jacob Elordi, which I thought was kind of insane. But
And no, so Frankenstein. I'm assuming this take on it is a little bit more like the book. Which a lot of people might not realize. There's a whole thing of going to the Antarctic or whatever. They're chasing
Yep.
the monster, and really the whole story in the book is actually told from the boat captain's point of view. He's like telling the story, like, "Hey, I just saw all this shit go down," and a lot of the pieces of movies past, like the old school Frankenstein and Young Frankenstein, and there was even there was one where Robert De Niro played the monster.
really,
They're all really good, but yeah, it's a classic Gothic story, and I can't wait to see it because I definitely want to see sort of Del Toro
yep. I mean,
is a mad
Guillermo is amazing with that kind of weird horror goth
yeah.
thing. So he takes care of it really, really well, really well.
So let's do. This is the actor in a leading role, right? So this is the main actor category. You have Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Wagner Mora for The Secret Agent and Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. I'm going to tell you right now, I know nothing about Blue Moon and I know nothing about The Secret Agent. So go ahead. Where are we at?
So yeah, The Secret. Okay, to preface this, I watched Blue Moon recently. Ethan Hawke was amazing. He was really, really well. I think you actually should watch this. It's kind of about the play Oklahoma, kind of the starting of writing that with everything that went down in that era. Really solid. But Ethan Hawke definitely deserved this nomination. He won't get the win, but I'm glad he got recognized for that because he was really good. DiCaprio, I mean, there's no debating he's one of the greatest actors of all time, period. And he was really good in one battle after another. But again, I think this is another snub for DiCaprio, which is insane that he won for The Revenant, but that's not his best role by a mile. Like, he has so many better roles.
Do you know who that also happened to? And people may disagree with this. Denzel. Denzel won for Training Day, and I'm going to tell you right now that's the worst role I think he's ever done. He did so many other great, amazing things that he should.
I don't think that's his worst role, but it's not his strongest.
Yeah, I thought it was. I didn't care for it. I thought it was a little over the top.
Interesting.
But his other roles, before and even after that, have been top of the list.
Yeah, I mean, he got snubbed this year. I mean, the Spike Lee movie, Highs to Lowest, got nominated for nothing, and that's one of my favorite movies this year. And he was great in that. That was such a good performance from Denzel in there. It was so good.
If there is a person in Hollywood that gets snubbed more than anybody of all time, it's Spike Lee. Almost every movie that he comes out with should be recognized. Yeah. And again, sure, maybe some of that does have to do with how outspoken he is, or
probably,
maybe there is some racial connotations to that. But yeah, he gets snubbed, I think, more than anybody.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But if we're gonna talk about wins, I think Timothée Chalamet hopefully gets this Oscar. He's been wanting it for like 3 years now. I mean, he probably, I think he should have won it over Adrian Brody last year from The Brutalist, but he should have won it for the Complete Unknown movie. Or like Coleman Domingo and Sing Sing should have also won that over Adrian Brody. So I think Chalamet does get his Oscar. But Wagner Moura and The Secret Agent, the first ever Brazilian actor to get nominated for Best Actor, is kind of trend-setting, and I think the Oscars may kind of fall into that what's trending right now, the first ever Brazilian actor who gets to win.
Maybe.
Also, Michael B. Jordan, if he wins, I'm not mad, and I would love that, because that is just... He played a dual role, so he played two characters at the same time, and they looked real together. It was innovative. Ryan Coogler is like...
Yeah, I think
collaborator with Michael B. So,
I think so. There's no secret to me. I'm not necessarily a huge Michael B. Jordan fan. I thought, Creed was, and again, maybe it's not his fault, but Creed I thought was a little, he didn't seem like the son of Apollo Creed to me. In Black Panther, I kind of thought he sort of overdid the 1990s, hip hop thing, thug life type character. It just didn't work for me. I wasn't a huge fan. But I'll tell you this: in this movie, in Sinners, it was dialed down. He played both. There was no question on who was who of the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is hard to do because they look exactly the same. To each other. And I thought it was. It was such a great comparison to play both people that he did, and for you to just not even notice. At no point was I like, "Hey, wait, which one is that?"
Right. That is a very hard feat.
Yeah.
Have you seen Fruitvale Station, the first Ryan Coogler directed movie with Michael B. in it? That is Michael B. Jordan's.
How many movies is he in? Is he in all of?
He's in all of them. He's in the first Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Sinners, Creed, and Fruitvale Station. I think he's only done 5 movies, Ryan Coogler, which is... Also,
He's
great
sort of
movie.
the De Niro, Scorsese, or DiCaprio,
Spike Lee,
Scorsese
and
scenario.
Denzel.
Spike Lee and Denzel.
Like, yeah, he's
Um,
yeah.
no, that's cool. Yeah, I think you always need that. Again,
But
yeah, we'll be.
some of the
Go ahead.
performances also underlooked. Daniel Craig and Wake Up Dead Man. Love
You
that
think
movie.
so?
Yes,
I mean, it's the same role that he's been playing,
it's
right?
the
In
same
the
role,
past.
and I think he should have been nominated every single year that a Knives Out movie came out, because that is actually my favorite Daniel Craig role ever. I loved him obviously as James Bond, but there
That
are
was good.
two, maybe even three other Bonds that are better than Daniel Craig in my opinion. We can get into Bond in another episode, but yeah, Daniel
Yeah.
Craig in Wake Up Dead Man as Benoit Blanc is amazing, and I love it so much. And Josh O'Connor in Wake Up Dead Man as well. He was amazing.
Who
Like,
he was the priest?
yeah, he was
Yeah.
Judd, I think, Priest Judd or
Yeah.
something,
Hmm.
something along those lines. But he was amazing. ASAP Rocky in Highest to Lowest and If I Had Legs I'd Kick You was also amazing. And then another one that's kind of maybe, I mean, Will Arnett also is this thing on was amazing too. He should have been nominated. But Jonathan Majors in his first movie back, for Magazine Dreams, I thought had his best performance ever. But obviously the Jonathan Majors stuff is a little risky.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, Timothy
Um,
Chalamet, he'll get the win, I think.
you think that's his moment now?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, he's going to be fantastic too. I don't know if I can get over him not being Bob Dylan. Like, I think every time I see him now, I'm like, oh, look, it's Bob Dylan. So we'll see
Yeah.
once I see Marty Supreme. Okay, actress in a leading role. You have Jessie Buckley for Hammett, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, Emma Stone for Bogunia, however you say that one, um, and Renette Rensif, right? Renette
Rensby, I don't know. Something.
Rensby for Sentimental Value. Um, I haven't seen any of these, so
So yeah, I mean, Jessie Buckley has a lot of momentum. She's probably going to win this. Um, I don't agree with that at all, though. I think Rennet, yeah, Renzi, Sentimental Value,
Rensby.
the daughter in Sentimental Value was really, really good. Again, it's a kind of a foreign hype for this movie. I think it's going to get a lot of love. I mean, Emma Stone might even just win for Begonia just because it's Emma Stone, and she was amazing here.
She's kind of in everything, right? Like, it's almost like
And I think she also holds a record. I think it's like the youngest actress to be nominated in like consecutive years or something like that.
I I know she and good for her for picking. She seems to choose or get these bizarre roles. Even she had a TV. There was a TV show. I can't remember the name of it. I had to look it up, but it was her and this the guy who wrote it. They go down to Mexico to do like a reality show of reselling houses, right? Making houses better for down south. And it was so bizarre. It was a weird show. She seems to sort of gravitate towards things like that, which is good for her.
Yep.
Kate Hudson, the song Blue. I don't, if you've seen that, it
Yeah.
looked a little
So
cheesy.
the only
But-
thing that I'm very confused about here is that she had a good performance. I'm not going to deny that. I did like Song Sung Blue. It's a Neil Diamond interpreter biopic, which
Right.
the whole story is insane. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it like so many things happen to both Hugh Jackman's character and Kate Hudson's character.
Oh,
But
really?
it's just such a weird thing for me because it's such an outlandish kind of nomination because it kind of happened out of left field for me.
Right.
Because Amanda Seyfried in The Testament of Anne Lee, I think, also could have just been nominated. She was amazing in that movie. The movie itself is pretty
Right.
weak, but she was amazing. And the movie I was talking to you yesterday about, Sorry Baby, Ava Victor should have been nominated for that as well. She was amazing. So I don't really know where this win goes. It could be Jessie Buckley. It could be, the daughter from Sentimental Value, or it could just be Emma Stone. And also Rose Byrne was amazing in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, but also kind of a weird nomination as it's the only one for that movie.
Yeah, no, that's I never even. Again, most people when they see these are like, I didn't even hear of this movie, and that might be fall under that one of those categories. Speaking of other weird category, right? Casting.
That is I believe it's the first ever category for that. It's the brand new category that they're introducing. Is the best casting.
So who did the best casting? Again, this would be a tough one to even like decide, right? But you have Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. I'm going to have to say Sinners for me because you didn't need a whole bunch of famous people, right? One Battle After Another, I get, but you have a whole lot of Hollywood package right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Sinners was like, you needed authentic people. You needed, people who looked like they were, at this in the South at that time. I think there was such a level of authenticity to it that I think it was great. It was a great ensemble cast.
It really was. But yeah, I think I have to agree there. Sinners. The only other casting that might get it is either One Battle or The Secret Agent, just because it is kind of an ensemble in both rights. But again, Sinners, Miles Catton, first ever movie, he did amazing. Jamie Lawson, who is also kind of an up and coming actress, she was in The Batman with Robert Pattinson, who she was kind of a lesser character in that, but she was great. Lee Jun Lee was the Asian mother that kind of had the vampires come in, and then all the wreckage ensues. But Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Jack O'Connell, Woomy, Omar Benson Miller, who played Cornbread, who was amazing, and then of course Delroy Lindo.
Right.
Like the whole cast is amazing. So
yeah, and it really looked like they were together, like they all knew each other. It was, I think, such a wonderful moment, and it's even going back to like. Again, this isn't necessarily casting. This is actually probably going to be more in the next part, which would be cinematography type things. This whole story really took place in one spot, right? Sort of, like Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs was all just in one warehouse. 12 Angry Men was just all in the the jury room. This really just happened in the barn. I mean, obviously there was more to it than that, and they went all over, but the crust of it happened in the barn, and I think that was just such a great thing to have all that pack, all those actors in one spot. It was convincing. It was very convincing to me.
Yeah.
So cinematography, we got Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. I mean, Del Toro will always get a cinematographer that's going to be, batshit in some way, right? One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson. There's so much that you see of. He wasn't the cinematographer, obviously, but he the director will map all of that out for the cinematography, and you saw so much of him in that movie. So for me, I probably would say that I think is going to win. I don't. Where you've seen more of these movies. Than
I have seen all of these movies. I just recently watched Train Dreams, and I genuinely think Train Dreams might win it. The cinematography is actually kind of really, really, really good. But yeah, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, I think do have some amazing shots in that movie with cinematography. But Sinners and Train Dreams, I think, is that real battle that's going to happen. But again, I'm just going to root for Sinners the entire time because the cinematography in that was mind-blowing. I saw that in IMAX. That's the only movie I saw in IMAX from these.
Yeah, no, it was good, yeah.
It blew my mind. It blew my mind. So it has to be Sinners. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Train Dreams, One Battle even, Marty Supreme. Sure. They're all great.
What about, then there's like costume design, makeup, hairstyling, costumes and stuff. The list, right? So it's
yep.
Like how many Is there any surprises here?
Not really. I mean, The Ugly Stepsister is definitely an interesting movie. I watched that and it was pretty grotesque, so I wouldn't be mad. I'm not gonna say too much because it's very explicit, but there's literally like very, very nudity stuff with that movie. It's very, very freaky. But like I said, I mean, Frankenstein is probably going to run away with that only because
Yeah,
it's
right. I mean,
Guillermo and the era. I mean, Avatar maybe, but like again, the costume and makeup is kind of just CGI, so I don't really know what the makeup in that movie
that's
was.
true. That's very
So,
true.
but I mean, Hamnet was also good with costume, but yeah, I mean, it just has to be Frankenstein. I'm
I
not.
agree. I agree there. So animation, there's an animation section, of course, right? You have Arco, Elo, K-pop Demon Hunters, Zootopia 2, Little um,
Little
uh,
Amelie.
Little
Yeah.
Amelie, and the character of Rain.
So, listen, it's gonna be K-pop Demon Hunters. There's just no doubt about it. Um, it it's not. It is probably the best like animated movie coming out this year. I am glad though that Elio got nominated. I thought that was really enjoyable. But I mean, K-pop Demon Hunter is such a global sensation now, so it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you keep hearing about it. Everybody, our nieces know
Yep.
about it. So it's yeah, I would probably tend to agree there. Um,
It's also kind of a weak year for animation, if I'm being completely honest. The only movies I did see in that category was Elio and K-pop Demon Hunters and Zootopia 2. So I know Arco has a lot of the anime side rooting for it, and the little Amelie or the character of Rain also has a lot of not like film bro knowledge to it, but it's a very like serious film that I think a lot of people would want to root for it. But again, K-pop Demon Hunters, the biggest movie on Netflix ever, global sensation. It's just gonna win that.
Now, so they have an international film section, which is funny that international films can also be in other categories. You know what I mean? Which I think is
Yep,
kind of
it's
interesting.
kind of weird.
But so you have the voice of Hin Rajib, Sarat,
I think
Cinema,
it is a rat.
Cinema Value, The Accident, and Secret Agent. Or it was just an accident, and The Secret Agent.
Yep, the Secret Agent is gonna win this one easily. It's probably another not a global sensation, but you know, it'll probably win. But Sentimental
Yeah,
Value was a way better movie. It's so good. I hope it does win. The only other thing about this category, No Other Choice by Park Chan Wook was better than every movie in that feature the
really.
international feature film category. It was so good, well directed, well acted. The script I think was interesting. I think it's based off a book or something, but it's actually really solid.
Okay, I'm going to put that on the list then as well. Film editing, that's one. There's again a lot of the same ones, but this time you include F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Sentimental Value. And I will say F1 probably could be worth it just because that is a bitch to edit, right? Some film editing, right? So
Hmm.
imagine having to edit a race together.
Right.
There's so much that you have to think about. Even the 360 thing of the track, the whole
Hmm.
scenario. So, and you have to keep it exciting, right? So you can't just film the cars. You gotta, get the close up here of the tire, get this of the whatever rear view, and so I think that might be a good category for at least that particular type of film.
Yep. I mean, film editing. I think one of my favorite editors from their movies is the Safdie brothers with Marty Supreme. I know it's just Josh Safdie, but Yeah, the film editing in that was really, really good. There's a lot of good transitions, a lot of good just scenes that, because it's another thing where they're playing table tennis and you go back and forth, and it's kind of hard
Right.
to see really where the ball is, or like kind of get that stadium crowd feel and vibe to it. It's just such a well edited film. But yeah, F1,
In
not a fan of the movie, but the editing definitely
yeah,
very tedious. There's a lot of amazing scenes in that movie, and it goes with the editing from that as
the
well.
in film school, during editing classes or whatever, you know, you could always ask the question, how what makes a good edit, right? And the real answer to that is whatever makes it interesting.
Hmm.
You do whatever you want, editing wise, just as long as it's interesting, right? And I think that's something that most editors feel, right? They have to put this together, and they have to make it damn interesting. So,
Yep.
yeah, production design. That's an interesting one as well. Again, so in films, right? And especially in this podcast, maybe what we're going to want to try to do is explore not just, hey, here's these famous movies and these famous actors and what they do. Behind all of that is such a huge city. It's literally a city of people, right? Who put things together. When you're looking at the credits of a movie, it goes on and on and on and on, right? The production designers, they make everything, right? There's people making outfits. There's people making rooms and buildings. Uh, it's fantastic, right? How it's literally a whole city of people making all of this stuff, right? It isn't just Leonardo DiCaprio. It isn't just Timothy Chalamet or Benicio del Toro or Martin Scorsese, right? It's not all of these things. There's a team of businesses, right? Business after business, creating it. So I think that's fantastic, and it's great that they get some kind of love with the Oscars as well. Terry Gilliam, one of my favorite directors, he usually builds or has people build all these crazy sets, and at some point we're going to watch the movie Brazil for one of our monthly films, and the sets are unbelievable, like unbelievable.
Mm.
They actually took an old nuclear power plant, an empty one, and he built a set around it. Like it's insane. So we'll get into that a lot more. But so this year, right? So for production design, there's Sinners, Frankenstein, Hamlet, Marty Supreme, One Battle for Another. Of course, it's a lot of the same movies, but
Yep.
it's so. And I might have to say Sinners here, right?
Um.
Just
Yeah.
because, again, it happened all in one place, but man, you never left that place,
Hmm.
right? The design of it was so perfect that you didn't
There's only
question
kind of
anything.
one other one that I keep looking at, and it is Frankenstein. Because when you talk about like stuff like that,
Yeah,
when they are in Antarctica and they're on the boat, and I don't know if that was a green screen or if they actually went on in the ice and like filmed over there, because it looked so real, and
right.
it kind of every scene that Jacob Elordi was in as the monster, where he was in a random house in the castle with like the big electrocution things coming down, like the whole design was actually very beautiful and very
Mhm.
very like sightseeing. It's
Interesting. Yeah, no,
really
it's
really good. But yeah, Sinners. I mean, when you feel immersive in a film, I think that kind of just goes with the production design of what you're
think about
looking at.
this.
So,
Think about this in Sinners, right? You mentioned the scene where they saw the field workers,
hmm.
right? That's all by design. It wasn't like here's this field and we're just gonna put actors in it.
Hmm.
Like they made it look like that. They made it look that authentic to say people are working these fields. Nobody's working these fields, right? They just, what I mean? It's
Right.
fake. But when you saw that, it was designed that way for you. And again, there's such a level of authentic. It was authentic to me.
Yep. Agreed.
Um, all All right, we'll throw these out here, and again, I won't go over every individual thing, but so original score or original song. What do you have there?
Original score has to be Sinners. There's no other way that I can even think about it, just because Ludwig Göransson. I listen to this score almost every day. Like, I have it on my playlist every day. It's such a good score. It's such a good score. But again, Marty Supreme has an amazing score. I loved it. But the original song is kind of the only one that I am not only nervous about, but I'm probably going to be the most upset about. It will probably go to K-pop Demon Hunters for Golden. Like you said earlier too, our nieces, they sing that song all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
sure,
when you have like a kids movie like that, it's gonna get recognition no matter what. It's such a big song. It is a great song, but nothing will ever compare to the "I Lied to You" song ever. Not only is the song actually really amazing and has a good story behind it, with Sammy saying that he lied to his dad about loving the blues and committing to sin because he's a preacher, or his dad's a pastor and he's a preacher, but the whole scene with the "I Lied to You," the surreal montage is what Kugler calls it, is the best scene in cinema, I think, of all time. Like, there's nothing that compares to that. It's
so well done.
Mind-boggling that even happened. Like, when I saw it for the first time, I just sat in silence and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was amazing."
And I think that threw people off. I think the reason why some people might not like the movie is because that sort of came out of nowhere, and it was sort of dreamy, right, in a way. It wasn't part of the real story that people were trying to pay attention to, but I thought it was an important spirit in the movie.
Now, when you say it's not a part of the story that people are following, yes, but I think that people should understand when they watch Sinners more than once. I've watched this film like 10 times, dude. There's something about when Ramek, the white vampire, comes in and is like, "Hey, I heard your music, and I want your blood with me."
Yes.
Because that song was so good, and it spoke clearly. It spoke to many generations.
It's what Elvis did.
And it's phenomenal. That's kind of the whole point of the movie, is when Ramek is trying to get his talent to him, because the "I Lied to You" song was so surreal and so good.
It's literally what Elvis did. Elvis stole the soul, right? His music is black music, right? He took it to the next level, absolutely. But I think that scene. I think some people who don't like Sinners or didn't get it, they were looking for a straight up vampire story, right?
Sure.
And this wasn't that. So they ingrained that time period, the feelings, the people, the social significance of it. They wrapped it all into that cool ass dance number.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was beautiful. So I agree. Speaking of scores, so Oscar trivia. There's one person. I believe this is still true. There's one person who actually beat himself for best score. He actually was up twice.
No way.
In the same year. And it was John Williams.
That makes so much sense.
And I believe we'd have to go back, but I believe it's for Empire Strikes Back and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Wow.
I think those are the two movies. So he actually beat himself, which is hilarious.
Is so funny. So nice he had to do it twice.
Exactly. Okay, screenplay, adapted screenplay, and original screenplay. I did not know that One Battle After Another was based on a book. So I didn't know that was adapted.
Yeah, me neither.
So there you go.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think? You think that would win? It's a pretty tight story.
Yeah, when you look at the adapted screenplay nominations, it's probably the strongest in this category. Hamnet is the only one I'm looking at that could also win, just because of the momentum it has. But when you go for the original screenplay, I if Sinners does not win Best Original Screenplay, I think I'm going to be really mad.
It has to, right?
It has such an original, like, a lot of people will say this to me about Sinners, like, oh, it reminded me of From Dusk Till Dawn, da 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 da. But it's not that the story has similar vibes to it. It's just the story that comes with it is so original and so amazingly put together. Like, there's no movie I've seen like Sinners ever.
I totally agree. One other thing, so I wanted to talk about one battle after another. Even if we're adapted, whatever it wins for, it's going to win something, I'm pretty sure. Somebody has to talk about current events, right, in their speech. Mm-hmm. I mean, the movie literally starts off with raiding a ICE, basically, camp.
Yep.
Where they're detaining people. So this is obviously in the huge right now in the in our country. So I have to assume whoever wins for whatever on one battle after another, that has to be brought up.
You know what the craziest part is, though?
I think it's a fun thing.
I could be wrong about the year, but PTA wrote this and adapted this in the early 2000s. By the way,
yeah, I think he has to. I agree.
Insane. When a lot of this stuff is still going on currently in the world, where it makes sense.
It had to be set in previous time because they're using payphones.
No, I know, but like he wrote it and he was making this movie back then, which is like.
Well, this is always, unfortunately,
I know, but it's so
a problem.
Insane to me.
It's crazy, yeah. No, it was good. I think that probably would win for best adapted. So, all right. I mean, then the final one is best picture, right?
Well, before that, with the best director.
I'm sorry. Did I forget?
Yeah,
you did.
I mean, Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie, Murder Supreme, PTA One Battle, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. If Ryan Coogler wins, it'll be the first ever black director to ever get a Best Director award, which is kind of crazy.
Which Spike Lee should have won at least 4 times.
Should have. So, but yeah, I'm rooting for Ryan Coogler.
Was he nominated? Was Coogler nominated before? Is this his first nomination or not?
Was not nominated, I believe. Yeah. Maybe for Black Panther, I don't know, but I don't think so.
Interesting.
But yeah, Ryan Coogler, he has to. But again, PTA, Chloe Zhao. I mean, this would be Chloe Zhao's second best directing one, so you could have that, but gotta go for Ryan Coogler here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Paul Thomas, I think is really good. I don't know if that. I don't think it was his best work, but again,
right.
Most people don't. Martin Scorsese won for. It's not his best work for sure. Now I can't remember. It was the Boston one. What was the Boston one? I can't even remember the name of the movie now. That escapes me. You're going to throw up a little picture of the movie that I completely forget. But again, he should have won multiple times before then. So that's just how it works. Okay, so then Best Picture. I'm going to have to probably lean that you might be saying Sinners. And I don't disagree. Again, and here's the funniest thing about the Oscars that people might not really know. People are sent these packages, right? Whoever's on the Oscar board to do, pick these winners, they're sent, little DVD copies called For Your Consideration, right? You don't even have to watch them. That's the weird part, right? So the people who pick the winners, they don't actually have to watch every single one in the category. They just pick the winners. So sometimes it's hard to really determine, where the zeitgeist of Hollywood is going. Yeah. So here, we're in this weird spot with these as Best Picture. So what? I don't know. Where do you think?
Obviously, I would love Sinners to win. I think it is the best movie that came out last year. No doubt about it. But when you have a movie like One Battle After Another that has a lot of, real, like, current stuff happening, it could win. Um,
Sure.
and then Hamnet is also another one that could win. It has a lot of, I guess, new momentum with it. But listen, Sinners, best movie, it has to win.
It was, yeah.
It has to. Again, and it's also another thing. F1 sneaked in. Like, that's such an interesting, like,
That is weird.
it to me that I find weird about when you do a Best Picture one is that if no one else from that movie gets nominated, like that movie is nominated for Best Picture, but Brad Pitt didn't get nominated for the movie. Joseph Kosinski didn't get nominated for Best Director. Like such a weird kind of thing that happens. Which, I mean, sure, it's a good movie, but yeah, a lot of those movies there are really good, really really good. But Sinners is the best, no doubt in my mind. Obviously, I'm obsessed with it. So
Yeah, we'll absolutely see. So obviously, we go to our, small screen spotlight, which is TV shows. But before that, is there any snubs that you're thinking of?
I
Like
mean,
that just irks you when you're thinking of the Oscars, and you're like, you know what really pisses me off?
like I said,
This.
Dakota winning in 2021 for Best Picture was not the right choice. But it was a very weak year for movies, so I guess I can understand that. But the only one that I have been a defender on, and I kind of boycott a lot of Jamie Lee Curtis movies nowadays for, is her Everything Everywhere All at Once win, was just because
Right.
like even in the movie, and I know you agree, is that Stephanie Zhu, the daughter in the movie, should have. If you're going someone in the movie that was the best supporting, it is the daughter from the movie. Like, there's no doubt about it. She was
Yeah.
way
Oh, yeah.
better than Jamie Lee Curtis. And the movie kind of... The best supporting, to me, is, like, the best actress that supports that movie. And it wasn't Jamie Lee Curtis. And then, another one
That's true.
in that same... is you could have just had Angela Bassett win for Black Panther, because her performance was way, way, way more powerful than anything in that category. She was amazing, and she should have won as well. Angela Bassett was my pick that year, and Jamie Lee, they kind of gave it to her with that what do you call it? The she's been around for a long time, so just give her an Oscar kind of win.
Yeah, sometimes there's politics in it. Sometimes they just want to do the right thing at the right time, right? You know what I mean? I do get that. I have one, and I can't remember. I'm going to say in 99, 98. I can't remember the year, but Edward Norton. First off, Edward Norton's first 3 movies or whatever were so bangers. He was in The People versus Larry Flynn, right? As just a young, goofy lawyer. He did fantastic. He was like a squeaky little dude. Then he did a movie with Richard Gere called Primal Fear. Again, he was a squeaky little dude, and he blew it away. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, I think, in there. He might have even won. I can't remember, but it was unbelievable. Immediately after that, he comes out with American History X, where he's not a squeaky little dude at all. It's one of the most powerful performances, one of the most powerful movies, I think, ever made. It should be taught in schools. We shouldn't shy away from talking about, hey, there are actually Nazis out there, and some of these people aren't just evil people. They just have some baggage that they can't get rid of, right? It's a super powerful movie. Should have won a lot more awards. Didn't.
Yeah.
But he was up for Best Actor.
You can talk about Edward Norton not really getting any recognition until later in life with Fight Club. Like,
sure, right. Well, and that's his very next one. So again, his first 4
it's such an interesting thing, because nowadays we have that, like cult classic movies that Fight Club is probably the biggest example of that because it's such a widely regarded movie. Obviously, one of my favorite movies, one of your favorite movies. It's such a
Yes. The story can be well. The problem with particular Fight Club is some of the people miss the point of it because when it first came out, and even today, there is sort of this macho extremism where they're like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, Fight Club," but they're kind of missing. It was written by a gay guy. The book is written by a gay guy about the anti, consumerism, the anti machoism, the anti everything, and it's the age old thing. Terry Gilliam also does this actually in Brazil. It's almost the same story. That in order to be free in this world, you have to go crazy. Like you literally have to become mentally ill in order to become free. So the point was completely missed on Fight Club for a lot of reasons, but it did, gain some sort of good cult status, which is fantastic because also the book is also one of the greatest novels ever written by one of the greatest writers out there. But for American History X, he was up for Best Actor and lost to Roberto Benigni for Life is Beautiful, which is the Italian, which was good, but nowhere near as good as Edward Norton. And I think politics maybe had a lot to do with that. A lot of people say that Edward Norton is, kind of a dick or overpowering or whatever. And there's a lot of stories in American History X. He sort of took over the production of that. Him and the director did not get along. So there's like a lot of, he actually kind of stole the movie from him.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. So that would be my biggest snub, I think.
All right.
I'm sure there's
definitely a lot of other ones.
I'm sure there's a lot more. So TVs. So the small screen. Where are you at?
So I mean,
anything?
we can talk about a lot. The first one I'm going to bring up is just going to be talking a little bit about Stranger Things. I know that's kind of a heavy topic. 5 seasons.
There's a lot of stuff heavy, you can go into that.
A very heavy pop culture, TV show that kind of is now widely regarded as one of the best TV shows ever. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there are some strong seasons, and there are some very not so strong seasons. But Stranger Things is amazing. There's no doubt about it. I think season 1 is probably the best season 1 show I think ever. I don't think season 1 gets topped nearly as much. And then it kind of falls down with season 2. I was not a fan of season 2. There's a couple of good things in that season, but not the right vibe. I know we talked about a little bit with 8 and her going to Iowa or wherever that was, and then punk rock, which was
the weird,
so out of left field for me in Stranger Things. And then it picks itself right back up with my favorite season 3, with Starcourt Mall and the Russians underneath. The vibe of that was just unmatchable to me. It was really, really starstruck, and like I feel a sense of nostalgia, even though I was never even in the 80s. Like I was born in the early 2000s, and for some reason I thought about the 80s with Starcourt Mall. I was like, whoa, that's like actually really cool. I never experienced that. I want to experience that. Like I grew up with the Coventry Mall, and that mall was nowhere near like great. You know what I mean?
It used to be. It used to be.
Yeah.
Back then. Yeah,
I have no memory of that, but
yeah.
And then season 4 is good. It's good. I think Eddie was a clear standout, but it's another thing of that character was meant to die. So a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, I love Eddie. Why did he have to die?" It made sense for him to die. And then season 5 had some interesting things to it. I think it's a good season, but the ending, I think a lot of people have a lot of discourse on. But I enjoyed it. It was just, there's many plot holes that a lot of people know. So
it's hard to wrap everything up, especially something that's so well loved, right? You can't. People are going to be like, "Well, what about this? What about this?" Because they constantly think about it, right? The moment on Facebook, I remember that when season 5 was airing, so many different theories and so many different things. Oh,
Yep.
this and that. What about that? And blah blah blah. And that's great. It's great to have that audience participation, but you're going to have to understand that that's not what the writers are thinking about at all, right? So, my favorite TV show of all time is Lost, right? So that had that same thing where every week, you were talking online to people theorizing what was going on, and the ending upset a lot of people, but they kind of missed the point of the actual show, right? And so the ending is beautiful to me. Stranger Things, now as I told you before, Stranger Things was literally my childhood. Literally growing up in the 80s, believing, watching Ghostbusters, playing Dungeons and Dragons. All we did was play Dungeons and Dragons. All I did was listen to heavy metal. We believed that the local school was haunted and we had to fight demons and there were secret passages underneath everything. Like,
Right.
we would be on our bikes till 8, 9 o'clock at night, in the dark, trying to find this stuff. It was literally my childhood. And the people then were just like in Stranger Things. They did not like heavy metal. They did believe in this whole devil worship thing. Mm-hmm. And as kids, we had to navigate through people actually believing that stuff, right? So it was interesting. So to me, it actually meant a lot to me, the show. They did a lot of cool Dungeons and Dragons stuff that nobody knows about. Nobody even talks about. And I loved it. Story-wise, sure, they could have did this or that different or better. But ultimately, I thought they did the best that they could with the story that they had, and I thought it was great. The one thing I don't like is they did have a play, on Broadway that kind of tells some of the story that they don't bring up in the show. And I don't know why anybody would do that, because I'm not watching the damn play.
Right, and especially if it's kind of only on Broadway, you kind of have that sense of, how am I supposed to watch that if I don't, first off, have the money to even go to Broadway, or can really
so I think that's dumb.
Watch plays.
I think it's wrong to do that to your audiences. Have, that again, that's almost like Marvel movies saying, hey, you have to go see Spider-Man the play in order to get the next movie.
Yeah.
No.
And it's kind of the same thing that Marvel does do anyway with their shows, is like,
with their TV shows,
hey, you got to watch WandaVision to understand Doctor Strange. I'm like, as a fan, obviously I will, but no one else is going to sit through an hour-long show just to watch a 2-hour movie. Like, that's not...
Yeah, it's crazy to do stuff like that, but that's the world we live in. So Stranger Things was your show. I recently, me and Shelby, watched His and Hers. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, it was kind of a letdown. I loved the actors in it. I think they're all fantastic. The Punisher's in it. Valkyrie's in it. And I thought they did fantastic. The mystery itself, however, I think they just fell short on. And I don't like mysteries, like Knives Out, right? You're given these little clues, and there's maybe some things you can figure out, but you never really do. But here, I just felt like the clues didn't match up. The ending, even though when you find out who actually is the killer, it makes sense, and I was fine with that. But just getting to that point, I thought didn't work.
I watched a couple episodes of it. I did think
so. You didn't watch it all, right? You don't know.
I have no idea
the ending,
but the first 2 episodes are really, really, really good. I think Netflix is kind of now in that point where they need kind of a heavy hitting show, and even though it's a limited series, I think so far it's really good. The acting, again, like you said, is amazing. John Bernthal,
he's great.
He again, like you said, he just plays Shane from The Walking Dead in every role that he's in. But for some reason, I think it just works with every role that he's ever been in. And then Tessa Thompson, I love her, not in the show that much. His and Hers, she kind of plays it a little flat. She kind of is the same, and I don't think it works for me as much. But the mystery, I think, is really good. The tense scenes in His and Hers are still fine for me. They
There's
get
just
it
some,
done.
yeah. At the end, there's just some jumps that I'm like,
Again,
I
that's
don't
also
know
just a
about
Netflix thing. I feel like
Yeah,
Netflix
maybe.
shows are good, but I've never had like a Netflix show that was like wow. Other than Stranger Things, that was like wow, that's like amazing. I was never into Squid Game, like
Yeah,
not a big guy on that. I think Outer Banks is Netflix. Never touched it. So yeah,
I never watched that either. So our movie of the month. You're gonna have like you should have like
yep, yeah, yep,
a
boom.
you would call it what the film. So go ahead, introduce
So
the
yeah,
movie.
we're gonna obviously show a little clip of our wheel spin that we did. What last week? I think it was literally like
Yep.
a week ago
A
of
week, yep.
spinning it, and it landed on last year's Best Picture winner. It also won a whole lot of awards. Sean Baker won for Best Director. Mikey Madison won for Best Actress. I think it maybe won for Best Original Screenplay. I don't really know, but it was Anora, which was I think in my top 10 of last year of 2024 movies. I thought it was really really well made, well acted.
Was it on the high top 10 or the
No,
low part of
no,
the
it was the
top 10?
lower part of the top
Okay.
10. The
Okay.
lower part.
Okay.
I think it ranked number 8 or 7, somewhere around there. But I did very much enjoy it. There was a lot of scenes where it kind of just like it goes like the pacing is very fast, and you're like, okay, here we go. We're moving on to this thing, and then we're moving on to this thing, and then we're moving on to this thing. I really loved Anora. It's one of the better films that I've seen in the past couple of years. But there are some big problems with it. I'm sure you'll get into. But Mikey Madison, well deserved, I think, for the Oscar win. And yeah, Nora's really good.
Yeah, I took it. So it took a little while to get it going from the beginning of it. I mean, kudos first of all to any picture that wins Best Picture that shows completely gratuitous nudity and sex. Like, I mean, it was literally the first 20 minutes of that film was like fucking right. So great, good for them. It took a little while. And when it did get to a certain point, there absolutely was for me. Again, when we watch foreign films like the old French New Wave things, like Jean-Luc Godard movies, there's these pace, there's quick, running and quick movement, and they did that. They did it perfectly. It was shot very well. She was really good at. This is the only thing I've ever seen her in, so I can't compare it to anything. But she was really good as that.
Well, you've seen
Jersey. Girl. Oh no, that's right. She was Sadie
Time.
Maglutz. Yeah, she was Sadie Maglutz. Who I just don't remember her in it, but I also don't see her as Susan Atkins from. I know that was not a true story of the Manson family.
Yeah.
I thought the Russian thing was because I came in knowing nothing about it, but the Russian thing was interesting to me. Because going through the film, I have to think, and the reason that this won, again, you look at like social significance, and I have to assume that somewhere in New York, there is a whole bunch of Russian community, right? And this is sort of like a thing that I would be unaware of. The rich Russians, and she's more the downtrodden, prostitute. And how that sort of interacts with each other.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good. Best Picture, sure, makes sense. The ending I didn't fully grasp. The ending to me was a little weird. But no, I mean, I thought it was good. I would have given it, I don't know, a C plus.
Really? Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
It
we're definitely
wasn't.
on a different wavelength with that, just because I think I don't know if I'm really looking for like the story. The story is pretty. It's there. It's not like a,
Yeah.
I guess from that same year, like a Complete Unknown or Sing Sing is like the only thing that you're really looking for is the story and the acting, which the aesthetic is good, but with those movies, like those are really well made. But Anora, I think the vibe of the movie and like the way that they shoot each scene, the way that the pacing was phenomenal. Like even
Every
the
scene was a
soundtrack also
party.
was good. The
Oh
score,
yeah, soundtrack was good. Every scene was a party.
yeah,
And you just know from filming the little scenes that we film.
Mm-hmm.
If you film a whole damn party, that's like
a lot of people.
hard.
And
that's hard.
there's like 10 party scenes in the entire movie with different people.
Yeah.
That's very
Right.
hard to even grasp and to
And
film.
it was great. I told you, but again, if just from a personal standpoint, if you're looking at the effect of the audience, that same year, right?
Yeah.
Sing Sing and A Complete Unknown had choked me up. Right, I got tears and emotion watching those movies.
Yeah.
I did not have that same effect
Right.
here. Maybe other people did.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Maybe the short, for this New York girl, and her this weird scenario that she gets herself into.
It is kind of like one of those movies where it's like that one crazy night that happened. I know it's not through one
Right.
night, but like it is kind of like what a crazy night I just had, and then she goes back home, and that's the end of that story now. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's kind of
There's
it's well put together, I think.
Yeah. Then there's some subtleties. Again, this isn't something that I would consider myself watching again, right? So I look at it. If I look at what I consider the best picture, something. If right now I just turn on the TV and Raging Bull's on, I'm gonna put it on, right? If I turn on the TV and Close Encounters of the Third Kind is on, I'm gonna put it on, right? Or A Clockwork Orange, Sing Sing, I'm gonna put it on. If I see Anora on the list, I probably ain't gonna flip it on. You know what I mean?
Ah.
So
Yeah.
just from a viewing standpoint, I that's how I kind of.
I think I would agree with that. I don't think there's a whole lot of rewatch value to the movie. It's kind of like you understand the story, and now you're like, okay, I got the point of it. The execution, I think, was lacking a little bit. Now, another thing I will say, with the Best Picture win, I don't know if that was really well deserved. Maybe from like Sean Baker's Best Director, sure. But yeah, like I said, Sing Sing was the best movie that came out in 2024. Should have won that. It didn't even get nominated.
I agree.
And The Complete Unknown was also better. Dune Part 2 also was nominated for Best Picture. That was also really, really well made. Could have won. So Anora. But another thing is, like,
how many sequels do you think are ever up for Best Picture?
not a lot. I feel like it's not a lot.
We should probably look that up, and you should flash
Yeah.
something like how many sequels. I can't even think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think Anora also kind of comes with that thing of like it won a lot of awards. So already people kind of are like, that shouldn't have won that many awards, but 2024 was kind of a weaker year for film in general.
Yeah, I mean sometimes that happens. Yeah.
But I did like Anora a lot. I really did.
Yeah, no, I absolutely I enjoyed it.
Now,
Yeah.
before we end the episode, I don't know if you have any movies on the top of your head, because we do got to spin the wheel of cinema.
We do need to spin the wheel of cinema.
So I'm going to grab my phone real quick. And whenever you're ready, sir, you just let me know. I got to have Dracula, Fruitvale Station, Mean Streets, and Mallrats. So I'm going to point it up there.
Okay, that is the 4 movies.
Boom.
What do we land on?
Oh.
Didn't spin.
Let me
Nope,
spin.
you gotta spin.
There we go. Spinning it. And it is Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula.
Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Bram Stoker's,
very,
sorry.
very close to the book. This is a beautifully
All right.
shot movie.
So that is all right.
And it has Will's mom in it. Stranger Things.
Wow, why can't I forget her name? Winona Ryder?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
That's the movie.
That is the movie for next month's episode. I guess that'll be technically the episode 1, if you will, as this is the pilot, episode 0. But yeah, that pretty much does it. I think that was a successful episode.
Absolutely.
So, anything else to say before we end this?
No, I think that's it. I'm good.
All right. Well, we'll see you hopefully next month. And obviously, watch the Dracula movie with us and talk about it as well with us. But for now, that ends the episode. And please like, share, subscribe, do all of that good YouTube stuff. Listen, hopefully we can get this on Spotify. Maybe, hopefully Meatballs comes in, helps us out a little bit. But yeah, that about does it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.